under the misassumption that something is wrong with you and you don't understand why, and you were born with the shoulder this way, and it's rare. And what I want you to think is understand is that in the clinic or in my practice, I basically come up with any movement, pain, or dysfunction, and I categorize it in one of 4 ways. The first one is pathological. Logical. Which means I got knee cancer. Right? I got a knee-itis, cancer-itis, Lyme disease. Like something is up. I have unaccounted for weight loss, weight gain. I've smoked my nervous system. I have adrenal fatigue. Some issue, something that needs to be a medical intervention. This happens. This is why we say, hey, unaccounted for weight loss, weight gain, night sweats, dizziness, fever, vomiting, nausea. You know, something that doesn't make sense or fit the picture of a musculoskeletal dysfunction. That's pathological. That's where we go seek help, and that's the way they invented antibiotics and things like this. I have gouty arthritis. I had a horrible infection because I cut myself on a nail. Something's up. I can't stretch my way out of that. Make sense? I actually sent someone in, and I've caught 3 cases of Lyme disease in my practice with athletes. You know, like, hey guys, this doesn't smell like some problem. You need to go get checked out. And by the way, make sure they screen you for this, right? 2, catastrophic. 300-pound lineman rolled into my knee. Jumped out of an airplane and landed on a stump in the middle of the night, right? Something happens. I got shot. You know, these are the things that are, you know, catastrophic. You can't get away from that. What's cool, nothing's cool about catastrophic injury, but you get the idea. What's cool is that 1% of about all the injuries I see on the planet and in my practice are in these 2 categories. They're catastrophic or they're pathological. What does that leave? 99%. That means 99% of these are preventable diseases, preventable injuries, preventable overuse problems. And that most of the things, 99% of the things I see can be completely avoided. In fact, I think that modern medicine, modern sports medicine is like a Ponzi scheme. And like it is designed to build extra houses for physical therapists. I want to drive a nice car. Please go keep doing that crazy kip thing that hurts your elbow and come see me. I'm your guy. Like, you know, I want to put my kids into the best college possible. That's why you signed that waiver, right? So I categorize this as overtension is the first one. I'm in a good position, but good Lord, I'm so tight that I get early compression in the knees. My joints are tight. It's like having a tight hinge. Have you ever seen a tight hinge on a door? There's a little pile of metal flakes underneath the door. Yeah, that's what's going on in your body. So by the time you've worn a hole in your knee, and you're like, doctor, I wore a hole in my knee. And he's like, yeah, you should stop running. You're like, I'm not going to stop running. How dare you tell me to stop running? Well, what a reasonable thing for your doctor to say. Hey, I've noticed you've worn a hole in your knee doing what you were doing. Stop doing that. Something needs to change. And the problem is the physician is not the place necessarily where they go, right? You don't get a 10-minute interview where they get to see you run, and that's not the place for it. But understand that's what's going on. That's a very reasonable thing to say. Hey, I've noticed you've herniated your disc deadlifting. There's something wrong with your deadlifting? Seems reasonable, right? Overtension. 4 is what I call open circuit faulting. And an open circuit fault is when I don't put myself in a position of organization, of wind up, of stability, of closed packed position of the joint, or a position where I can generate a lot of torque and then express a lot of force. My body is going to look for those positional, it's going to make compromise, and it's going to put me into a position of stability that's dysfunctional.